Hi, I'm Matt, and this is Track in 60, where I try to write a track in under 60 minutes, all live. And today's theme is only arpeggiators. Now, if you don't know what an arpeggiator is, it's essentially a device that turns a bunch of notes, turns a bunch of notes into a sequence, essentially. So if you've got a chord, put it into arpeggiator, take all those notes from the chord and play them individually in a sequence. So for instance, if I play that, I'm playing a chord, but it's doing all those notes in sequence. So basically the idea is everything that I create has to go through an arpeggiator, basically. So I think the first place to start is probably figuring out tempo. So I think I'm in my mind, I'm thinking probably like 90 BPM. Also, I forgot to start the timer. You'll see the timer in the top right corner. So that's going down now. So what's tempo 90? Yeah, I like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first do some sounds in the OP1 initially, and then maybe we'll go into Ableton and find some sound in there as well. I think this is going to be interesting when we get to the drums, because it could be really cool actually. But yeah, let's first lay some synths down. I'm going to set the OP1 to 90 BPM, and I actually quite like this initial sound that we have here. In fact, quite like that chord as well. And if I just I'll use that filter back and forth. So yeah, let's record that in and go from there. Nope. Oh, I'm not recording. Okay, here we go again. So I'm just messing around with the filters on the OP1, trying to get some different sounds. I really like that one actually. Yeah, I think that's probably enough for that sound. It's actually a very cool sound. So there's a lot of bits that I recorded for that. I've also recorded it 3 times, which is a bit of a mistake there. But yeah, there's some really good bits in that. I particularly really like that sound. That's really cool. And I think what I'm going to do is keep that there. Let's find another sound that we can maybe put on top of this with the OP1. So maybe something that kind of harmonizes with that arpeggio. That sounds amazing as well, actually. I'm going to see how that sounds over the top. Get rid of this intro bit because I've messed up a bit. Yeah, that sounds cool. I'm going to start recording actually, because so nice. Okay, cool. I think that's a good amount to work with. And then let's get another sound at the OP1. Let's have a look at some other sounds that we can... Yeah. Ooh. I also want to try experiment with... Let's change the actual rate of the arpeggio and see if we can kind of make that work actually as well. So I'll play these. So if I hold that, and then this might sound really strange, but all really cool. Yeah, it sounds a little bit messy now. So I think I could probably switch between 8 and the 8 triplets. Sounded pretty cool. So I'm not sure about the sound though. It's a piano sound. I think I want to try. I mean, that's very cool. I mean, we can maybe do the bass line with this actually. Although it's very messy. We need like a shorter note for that. I kind of want to try put this over it though, so let's record something in from this sound. I mean, I love this particular sound I use all the time on the OP1. Just put that on hold, and then we'll switch it to. See, it's cool because the rest of the notes are all triplet notes, and I'm doing straight 8 notes, and it just works, which is really cool. Let's try an octave lower. Yeah, we'll go an octave lower on the next bar. Maybe octave lower. And I'll just let that note hold. It's a very high note. And just let that ring out. There's some really nice bits in that though. I like that. I think what I want to try to do now is look at getting some kind of drum sounds or percussive sounds in here. And I'm going to actually do it in Ableton this time as well. So let's just unmute that. I'm going to give it a quick save. Right, drum sound. So I kind of want something a little bit chilled. I mean, we could quite like that sound. I like this sound, but I'm thinking maybe putting a bit of a high cut on it. But of course, we have to put it through an arpeggiator. So that's the first thing I want to do. Is go to MIDI effects and arpeggiator and just drag it in there. And I'm going to set this to triplets as well, because that's what we've been doing. Actually, I'm going to try just straight eights for now, actually, and see how it works. So I'm just going to put in, I mean, I don't even know how this is going to work, actually. In fact, I'm going to have to do it as single notes, aren't I? I'm going to have to see it as almost like a chord being played into this to make it a fair challenge. It has to be done this way. So let's get a clap in there. Let's get, oh, another kick. Let's get another kick in there. Let's put a tom in there. Some kind of like close hi-hat. So if we just solo this. It's pretty cool. So how does that sound with just straight eights together? Let's try triplets or swan. Oh, that sounds pretty cool. Put up and down. Let's put hybrid reverb on this as well, more of the wet signal. If I want more going on with this kit, I think I maybe put another tom in there as well. Put a ride in there as well. Yeah, so the only thing about the up and down is it's playing that middle note twice, which I don't particularly want to. Up. Let's just try up. That's pretty cool. Let's try see how that works over it. No. Probably drums will be quite sparse in this, I think. Don't like the clap. Just gonna get rid of that. Yeah, that works. I quite like the idea of putting Isotope's trash on this drums. Sound a little bit like distorted, the lower the level, because sometimes they come in hot. Oh, that sounds heavy. That's great. Now, obviously, this bit's like a change that we'll have. That note is really high. I'm actually going to pitch shift that. It's like, I want it to sound a little bit glitchy, so I'm actually going to shift it down 2 octaves. what I'm thinking is I'm going to put high cuts and all this stuff as well, because I quite like the idea that it's just like this kind of slow kind of crescendo almost. So I'm going to use the Q2 by waves for this, and I can just copy this over for each channel because I like the idea that they all do it. Oh no, I mean Q1. I mean that's what I want to use, not the Q2, Q1. Basically, basically the number represents how many bands you're controlling, essentially. So let's start off quite harsh, maybe at 125, and then we'll automate this to kind of increase all the way to the top frequency. Once we get to this final bit, and I'm just going to copy this over to all the tracks for now. And this might be a bit extreme, and it should copy the automation as well. And it has, yeah, okay. So yeah, we'll start like this now. Quite like the idea that the drums maybe don't come in straight away. Yeah, that's sounding really cool. And then the drums should come in like slowly. Like, I'm gonna lower that just a tiny bit. Yeah, that's sounding really nice. I really like that drum part. And maybe like a 2-bar pause here. Maybe like a sudden stop when the drums come in, be cool. I mean, maybe 2 bars would be better because that was a bit long. We don't want that low cut anymore. I do really like that part, that's cool, but what I'm going to do, I want another kit part to come in with this. I'm actually just going to duplicate this because I like everything about it. I just want to change the kit, the actual kit itself. So let's have a look at the Ableton's drum sounds again. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Let's see how that sounds. Wow, bit of a mess. Oh, I like that low note. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. I'm actually going to push this down an octave for the second bar into it. It should be 48, yeah. I'm kind of, in my mind, I'm thinking, but then that's not an arpeggio or going, yeah, okay. Sometimes when I do these challenges, I kind of hear things, I'm like, oh, I want to do that, and then I realize I can't do it because of the restrictions of the challenge. So I want to, let's create a new audio track. I want to bring in the Baby Audio BA1, which is an awesome synthesizer. It's especially for kind of more kind of, I think it's got like a lot of oh, I did it audio tracker today. I don't know, audio track. I think it's got some kind of like nice Jupiter 8 sounds and things like that. But first I'm gonna make sure this arpeggio that I create actually works with everything else. So I'm gonna do this and then loop it. And then also need to copy the arpeggiator over. Let's keep it on 8s for now. be quite quick, I think. Okay, so let's move that over to this bit, this new bit. And I think I'm going to lower this an octave, actually. Sounds pretty cool, but let's have a look at the other sounds. I mean, that initial sounds great, but I want to experiment a bit more with some of the sounds it has. Oh, I like this. It's very quiet because the notes are very short, but yeah, I'm going to automate the attack because I quite like the idea you don't hear it straight away, and then by the end of it, those notes are longer. Okay, so this nice little bit. And then, so you can just hear it. Yeah, that's cool. Now I'm going to want to bring in, I'm going to duplicate this and find another sound that can kind of work with it. That's pretty nice. And this battery effect is quite cool because the lower it goes, you kind of get this warping sound, which is quite musical, which is cool. It stops. That sounds pretty cool. And I think I'm going to change one of these notes. In fact, I'm going to extend this and have this change a bit to add some interest. Changing the wrong one. Let's have these notes change as it's progressing. I'm also going to automate this as well, so it's not so in your face straight away. Yeah, that's actually quite a nice progression. We want to automate something that's going to make this. So let's automate the attack again for this. Well, it's disabled the automation. Just annoying. Re-enable, please. Nope, I don't know where around. Sounding pretty cool so far. I think I need to automate that change once we get to this bit. Maybe let's see what happens when we change the actual arpeggio itself. And let's switch it to eight notes. And the one thing I do love about Ableton, well, there's a few things, but one thing I do love about Ableton over Logic is that you can just click on something down here and then you can automate it easily. It's so handy. Wow, changes it up a lot. Yeah, we could do that at some point, but maybe not right now. Maybe do that for a different section. I'm liking the feel of this though. I think we need some bass though, don't we? I'm gonna try go on the OP1 and see if I can find like a bassy sound that we can use from this, because there are some good bass sounds on this. Definitely not that. So I'm gonna go probably FM. Oh, big bottom. That's pretty cool, although we're getting some, it's actually playing the MIDI in Ableton as well. Let's put this to triplets. That sounds pretty good. I mean, that's true. I mean, I'm going for an arpeggiator and I'm going to just do one note, which feels a little bit weird, but... I mean, I quite like that as well. I'm just going to record that in. I actually really like that sound. It's a little bit hot, so I'm going to do that again. Well, that's weird because I'm trying to come in on the clicks. Strange because it's. Yeah, that worked quite well. And I'm also going to use the same sounds to do some kind of bass line as well. Maybe the same notes actually. Actually, no, I want to do different ones. Sounds pretty bassy. Let's give it a go with that. It's peaking a little bit though, which is. I need to mess with some of these levels because I hope it's not distorting on the live end. But anyways. I'm struggling to hear that actually. I think that was in, but let's get into Ableton and check it out. Oh, okay, cool. It was in. Yeah, I'm just going to copy this for ease because we are on a time constraint, but I think that all sounded pretty cool. I'll copy that last bit as well. It definitely needs to be bigger, so I'm going to turn everything else down because it's a little bit hot. We're now getting that bass coming through. I definitely think something needs to happen with the drums here. So I'm thinking if we just do a kick drum through the arpeggiator, it might sound a little bit too hectic. Yeah, that's a bit much. It sounds kind of works though. It's too heavy though. Could do that for maybe like 1 bar. Let's try to put a hi-hat in there as well. Yeah, actually that sounded pretty cool with the hi-hat. Snare hiss, I wonder what that sounds like. I like that, let's hear that in context with the section before. Yeah, that's pretty cool actually, I quite like that. It's not what I was imagining, but yeah, it's kind of cool. Obviously it's going to change up once I put a hi-hat in there, because then it's going to go, it's going to lose that kind of heaviness, but unless I put oh, Kale, drop out the third note in the first bar. Oh, well, the only thing is though, that might be breaking the brief of going through an arpeggiator though. That's the only thing. It's a good suggestion though. Oh, thank you, Kale. Legend, thank you. Yeah, I like that suggestion to be honest, but yeah, I think it's going to be difficult trying to do that through an arpeggiator, but slice. What do you mean by slice? Let me know, I'm curious. Oh yeah, so I think when we get to this section, when I put in a hi-hat or any other part, it's going to be weird. I think I definitely need to have 4. It's going to have to be 4 things, and because of the order of things. I mean, I could change the order of the arpeggio. Actually, thinking about it, let me put in. That could maybe work. It might. I think it's going to lose the power though a little bit, but let's just see. Definitely to change some bits around because that bass. I kind of now regret recording the bass on the OP1 now, because if this was MIDI, this would be a lot easier to mess around with. So I'm going to have to re-record the bass for this section and change the arpeggiator on the OP1. Pretty sure this is the bass, right? I've got this in a really weird order, and I should really name things. But we are on a time limit. We've got 25 minutes left, so maybe naming things is a waste of time for now. So let me go back on the OP1. Let's see. what we can do. I wonder if 8 notes would work. No. Yeah, it's all sounding a little bit messy, so I need to look at these other parts as well and change the arpeggiator on this as well. What am I looking for? What am I looking for? Oh, rising horns. I like the sound of that. Sounds like a great idea. So I'm going to quickly change that and then I'll give that a go. Let me... What am I looking for? Oh, the rate. That's what I'm looking for. totally had a... Lost my train of thought then. Where are you? Where are you, rate? Why are you not showing up here? Well, I mean, I'm in Ableton. I just have to click it. Okay, so let's change this to 16 notes and do the same for this as well. And yeah, I really want to try the rising horn. I want to get some horns in, that'd be great. Obviously this bit isn't working, so let's take that out. I'm going to have to re-record that on the OP1. Nope, that's not working. I think it's because I'm swinging it at the minute, so let's change that to normal or straight. Do the same for this one. Nope. And I think we need to change what's going on with the arpeggio over here. Okay, let's change this to 8s as well. This could all be really quite a mess. But that's part of the challenge, isn't it, I guess, like trying to do something that's... Ooh. Okay, I like that. I like that. I think with some really kind of heavy bass, like subby bass on this section would be kind of cool to give it more depth. And then yeah, let's get some... I like your idea, Carl, about getting some plunky trumpets in there. So I'm gonna... Let's look at the Baby Audio BA1, I think, for this. I don't know. I'm gonna have to quickly... I'm gonna type in trumpet and see if there's any kind of sounds it gives me, because the 7th trumpets of Revolution, let's try that. I'm just gonna copy this part for now, just so we've got something that we can hear what it sounds like. No. That is not. Maybe if we change the sustain, put the sustain down. Let's put it an octave higher as well. This maybe could work. It doesn't, not really sounding what I expected. Put the attack. What's going on? I think because there's no gate on it. Okay, not gate, sorry, arpeggiator. That's why it's not doing what I want it to do. So let's put the arpeggiator on. How long have we got left? Okay, we've got 20 minutes left. Wow, that's not working at all. What's going on with this sound? Why does it sound so... Put the battery up, maybe. Wow. Thanks for the suggestions, Cal. I really appreciate them. Ooh. I like that sound. That's pretty cool. Right, I really want to get that kind of bass in there let's get some subby, and I'm going to do it in Ableton rather than doing it on the OP1 because the OP1's quite limiting in terms of what I can do. Because I have to keep recording it in, and we've got 90 minutes left, and I have to look at the structure at some point as well. How does this song even start again? I can't remember. Oh yeah, okay. Oh yeah, it is a little bit. It's kind of like Tronny. Well, that other section is. This section's kind of reminds me of like I don't know why. It kind of reminds me of Santi Gold a little bit. Like some of the sound, some of the texture she uses. It's kind of similar to that. So I think that section actually sounds pretty cool. So let's just keep focusing on this. I'm kind of imagining like a pulsing bass, or maybe like not pulsing, but like a slow pulsing bass. So I'm going to create MIDI track. I'm going to use the BA1 again by Baby Audio because it's just awesome. Let me look at the bass. C. Thanks, Kill. I'm just going to get a part. I'm going to get the root note of one of these parts and just take out. Ooh, a little bit low. Let's let's make that an octave higher. I always forget the hotkey for, because there's a way you can, there's a hotkey where you can just shift notes really easily, and I always, nope, that's not the right note. We're going on, let's switch it to A. I think maybe it's not going with this sounds, they're making it sound out, maybe. Let's switch. Also, we need to get an arpeggiator on this, otherwise I won't be following my brief. And if you're watching and enjoying, give me an idea for suggestions for the next live stream I do. I love these kind of wacky themes. I did one where I wrote a whole song just using a sample from the box. Did another one where I just used a sample from water. So if you've got any ideas, let me know. I'd love to try anything, really. Right. Wow, that's really low. I like it though. Let's see what else there is. I mean, that could work with a high cut on it. That could maybe work. Oh yeah, I get you. Okay, I actually started on Fruity Loops a long time ago, and I loved it. It's so cool. It's a great program. I haven't used it in a long time, so it's probably come a long way. But I used Logic for a long time as well, and I sit with Ableton now because I do a lot of live stuff, and it's just great for that. It's super solid. Like I don't think Ableton's ever crashed on me either. So for that reason, I do love it. But I would like to dive into Fruity Loops at some point. Your project must be crazy if you've hit a track number availability though. You must be doing some crazy stuff. I was going to put a higher cut on this, but I actually quite like how it sounds, actually. It's quite driving. I want to do something crazy, just see what it sounds like in 16. It's probably going to be too much. That'll work. Maybe we'll just try 32s. I actually quite like the 32s. Maybe we can build up to that. How long have we got left? We've got 15 minutes. Okay, not bad, not bad. Actually, how does 12 notes work? I also like that. I'm a big fan of polyrhythms. Maybe we could start on 8s and then switch it up So let's work on this. This could be quite cool. It's good to slowly build the song. And then let's switch to 32s for this last bit. And I'm going to copy this and then change the note of that bass line to, let's try, maybe just G. Maybe I want to go lower. Yeah, that's a nice change. It sounds like industrial Willy Wonka. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to change this a little bit. I quite like the idea of going. I'm going to sit on that a bit longer. And then go down an octave, not an octave, sorry, semitone. I mean, I was going to switch back. Industrial strength vodka. Oh, that's good. I like it. Right, we have just under 13 minutes. So I want to have a look at the structure quickly. I think this intro is pretty cool. What are we at lengthwise as well? Wow. So this, right where the point is, it's 3 minutes, 33 seconds, and 333 milliseconds. Wow. If you're into numerology, that'd be the one, wouldn't it? I mean, I don't mind. I like the threes, so I'll take that. But I want to add more to it. I think to end it there. But that's long. Although I need to shift everything because this is not at the start. Just put a little fade at the very beginning bit as well. That's it. 333 angel numbers. I think 333 is like you're on the right destiny or something, right? So I like the idea it finishes right here. So I think I'm going to go out with a big crescendo and just kind of like, yeah, go big on it. I think would be the way. Where's the 333? Oh, I don't know where it's gone now. Oh, there it's here. Okay. Let's go an octave lower with this. I don't know if I want to go. I was thinking chaos for this end bit, but actually, this could be. I'm kind of hearing something like quite dark for this last bit, although it doesn't. It's kind of going against the. I guess. Well, it's not going against anything. Let's just go dark with it, and then I'm going to use Isotopes Trash on this and just kind of automate it. The dry signal to wet and just kind of make it really. I know I've opened up Transit too, which is actually could also work. Actually, Transit's awesome. So maybe let's use this. Yeah, I mean that actually sounds pretty cool already. Yeah, I actually like this. I'm going to automate this so this just increases to 100. And the only thing is it's so low it sounds out of tune. So I'm going to push that back up an octave. I'm going to push this one up as well. And I'm also going to Thanks, Kyle. think, yeah, now I'm going to put trash on this one because I just kind of want this to go big at the very last bit, and I'm thinking just like a dead stop, just like a complete. I'm going to lower this for a second because sometimes this comes in. Let's go with that. That's nasty. And I'm actually going to start it kind of creeping a little bit when this section comes in. I mean, the drums need to be doing the same thing with the... I wonder what would happen if we put these drums to 16ths. This might be kind of a bit crazy. And I'm just going to automate this down to 100. That would be too much. Let's automate this to like 32s. And this could sound dreadful, but... Wow. I kind of like the idea of staying on. That sounded pretty awesome, actually. And I'm just gonna put them into 32s. Now, I'm not usually one for like really fast music, but that actually sounds pretty cool. And then maybe we go back to the eighths notes. In fact, I'm just going to sit on that. Why not? And then maybe just do like a low or a high cut on it so they slowly lose their power. And we should have one right here. Yeah, we do. Cool. And then we'll just automate that down. Do the same for the other drum part, sorry. Automate this down. Well, okay, we've got 7 minutes left, so I think that's how I'm going to finish it, like kind of like a bit of a weird. I think I need to look back at this section because I don't know. Actually, I thought it might feel like loads of missing once we get to this part, but it actually sounds okay. How's the intro sound again? Yeah, see the intro is this kind of like. I feel like this is going to be maybe a little bit disconnected because the intro is kind of like quite chilled and quite interesting, and I guess it just builds into this kind of this darker thing, I suppose. But what happens at this section? It's like a song that doesn't know what it wants to be. But again, I guess that's what happens when you try to write something in under an hour with a very limiting theme. But I'm kind of... I think what I might do is try just for this last bit, oh no, I can't. I was going to do like my lead part on the OP1, but I'd have to do it through an arpeggiator. I mean, that might work. Oh, that sound. Oh my God. The OP1 just comes through every time. I mean, I just hit one of my instruments, and that could fit nicely somewhere. I might just jam over this and see what I can come up with. Maybe from... Let me create a new audio track. Maybe from this crazy kind of... Yeah, from here. Oh, why is it not coming through? Why am I not hearing it? What's going on? Oh, it is coming through. It's just... Oh, the sound that I was hearing wasn't actually through the OP1. It's a sound in Ableton. Okay, well, let's go back to the OP1 and see, like, I want to try find a sound that I just heard. That's kind of cool. Yeah, it could maybe work. I like your thinking, Kale. It was good. Yeah, so I'm going to try that and see if it works. That's all right, and then maybe I'll go an octave lower. Should maybe start with that. Oh, I'm not recording, damn it. There we are. Then maybe go an octave higher on the bar. One of those notes isn't working for me, I don't think. It worked better on the octave lower, but I want to change the arpeggiator. And go octave higher, maybe an octave higher even more, and then change the arpeggiator. Oh no, that's the end. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, I like that idea, Cal. That's a good idea. Yeah, get some reverb on it, because that's, yeah, it's a little bit shrill, and it'd be nice to warm up. It's a shame I didn't record from the beginning though, because I really liked that first part. But so we started here. I'm going to use the Baby Audios spaced out because it's just awesome, and yeah, I like the idea that it's kind of quite atmospheric. So I'm going to put the settings on out of space. I've just turned the delay off, which is on the left side, because I don't think we need that. Maybe a little bit less wet signal. And I think it dead stops. I'm going to cut that out. Ah, cool. Yeah. I actually really like that end bit. I'd like to expand on that a little bit at some point. It happens a lot when I write these things. There's always like little ideas that I definitely want to expand on and kind of like revisit. So maybe I'll revisit this at some point, and then but remove the brief that I have to use an arpeggiator. You know, I think that would be kind of cool. And we've got 1 minute. Just over 1 minute left, so I don't know if there's much more I can do in like 60 seconds really, apart from maybe add Ozone 11 and do some very, very quick mastering on this. And I'm just going to use a preset. I'm probably going to use Balanced Master because it's just very good for like just getting ideas down. And I'm also going to lower the level of everything as well, because sometimes I do these playbacks and they're very hot. So I'm going to lower everything by 3 dB, go to the top bit. Cool, we're not peaking, that's good. Maybe I'll raise the volume a little bit. Cool. Right, yeah, we've got 25 seconds left. And so we'll have a listen to the whole thing. And thank you, Kale. I appreciate that. Appreciate those words. Okay, so let's have a listen. And I've got a really cheesy little visualizer that comes up as well when I play. So let's listen. So if you just joined, that was a song. The theme was arpeggiators only, or only arpeggiators. And then I had 60 minutes to do that. I think it came out pretty all right, actually. There's some sections that I'd actually love to, continue working on and building and everything. Let me know what you think in the comments, and suggest any theme ideas you may have. I try to do 2 live streams a week, although next week might be interesting because I'm traveling further. I'm traveling currently, actually, but I'll be traveling further away where I might not even be able to use any of this stuff or even have internet access. But when I do have internet, I'll try to do two a week. So if you've got any theme ideas, please send them across. And thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this, like the video, do all that stuff, subscribe, whatever. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. It's been really fun. This one's been a really, really fun one. It's come out a lot better than I was actually kind of expecting, actually. Because I just did, with that limitation of arpeggiators, I was thinking to myself, like, drums are going to be interesting, but I actually love the drums. I think they're really cool. Oh, thank you, Kyle. Really appreciate you sticking with me and giving me your input. Really appreciate it. And but yeah, I'm gonna probably go to sleep very soon because it's getting quite late here. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Until next time.